Alright, so Byron and Marcus make their way back to Astoria, and they reach Astoria without incident.
All right. So I guess we'll just go to Astoria Estates.
If that's where you want to go.
User in your channel timed out.
Well, apparently Theo revealing Aaron's little quest has scared him off.
Maybe he doesn't pick up the phone. He's still so lost in thought.
User was moved to your channel.
Welcome back, Aaron. Again.
I don't know what's up with my connection today.
Sometimes all the big-titted police girl packets swimming around your head they just interfere with the connection somehow.
What?
Out of character, yeah, speaking of a tangential thing, that messes with my head sometimes when I think about, like, a wireless transmission of the internet and, like, what's surrounding my head at any given moment in time. Almost as much as 3D printers do. Back to the story. Byron and Marcus have just returned to Astoria, and they're attempting to initialize a group call while standing near each other.
Although for some reason Byron is still in Manhattan according to the map.
Oh, because I haven't moved him. I thought I did, but I guess it didn't snap. Well, actually, you're in the right place. I was just getting him over here.
Ring, ring, motherfuckers.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Marcus and I were just at Theo Bell's, informing him about the Germain commissioner situation, which it seems he already knew about, and so he kicked us out rather abruptly, actually. However, we did mention one thing that was interesting. He said that David went down to Sivlar Cerveni's domain last night. How did that go?
I found ashes. Had them tested by a Nosferatu acquaintance using auspex. They were Sevalots.
Okay, I'm going to need a roll here to see if he's lying.
David's going to try and make it sound like he's lying.
Okay. As it turns out, the magical compulsion of David Green forces him to attempt a manipulation plus subterfuge roll at difficulty 6.
Can he spend a point of willpower to remove a success?
You know what? Sure.
Well, all right then.
So what's my role? Is it...
It would be perception plus empathy, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone gets to roll that.
Yep.
They sure fucking do.
Nope. Aaron ain't lying to me.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah, I got 2, it looks like.
Well,
Looks like
I
it's
got
a...
4.
Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph's the only one who has reason to think that that David Green is lying. And of course, speaking, with Joseph, it's possible that your anger is motivating you in this as well. Maybe on that Byron and Marcus think, that's totally legitimate. Marcus is like, yeah, aspects, Nosferatu, they have crazy chemical shit, that could work.
Yeah, I mean, Auspex is a common discipline, right?
Teaching it to Byron, if Byron can spell it, Nosferatu can, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
There you
so
go.
so you went down to the domain of that fiend and just poked around, found ashes, brought it up to the Nosferatu, and had it checked just last night.
Yup.
Do we all get another roll?
Nope.
Just give me a second. That cracked me the fuck up. Well then.
It was really easy to find someone to do it, too.
You know, he's got a point there. I think it would be kind of easy to find someone to do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people with Auspex. That said, can we go ahead and get a sample of those ashes?
Sorry, but the entire sample is with that Nosferatu.
I mean, that makes sense.
But it's okay. He's really easy to find if you just ask around.
For Byron and Marcus, David's gonna come across as being condescending and sarcastic, which, considering how these two just had a spat earlier.
Yes, right, whatever.
Yeah,
we get it.
And easy to find Nosferatu, yeah. So, if he's that easy to find, just go ahead and give us his number. Let me grab pen and paper, and Joseph will do that. There'll probably be some scratching as he grabs pen and paper. Number? Or name? Or anything?
You know, it's funny, I must not have caught his name, but I met him in Central Park.
Okay, give me a second. I'm still having some trouble keeping a straight face.
Me too.
Okay, the number's fine.
Didn't really get a number either. See, he was just standing out in the open, as Nosferatu are wont to do. He volunteered without me even offering.
And now you're just being an ass.
No, I'm recounting the situation as best I'm able. It's taking a whole lot of effort to be this civil and forthright.
Then if that's how you contact him, then it doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like he's someone that would be very easy to find. Give you absolutely no information?
No, I guess he didn't. I guess I didn't really get that much information at all, did I? About Sevalod and who verified the ashes. But I assure you, he was a friend and he verified those ashes. Indeed.
I'll ask him to the server, sorry.
That's alright, I will kick you. Again. You have been booted. You can reconnect.
I don't know how to handle this. Give me a second.
Yeah, at this point, David is like making wild jabbing motions with his hands, trying to, gesticulate what he's trying to imply.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Marcus Byron ever going to get another role, because this is getting
Nope.
absurd.
Completely committed to the prospect. It's just too convenient to just say that David now is just being sarcastic, and he's being intentionally untruthful with his words to spite Joseph.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that David's been, obstreperous.
Okay, then I've got a good way to read that then. I'm just having trouble reading the because of what you're doing. I'm having trouble reading how to go about handling it. Okay. You know what then? If you're not gonna tell us any of that, then we can just go ahead and go down and grab another thing of the ashes ourselves.
At this moment, David, you hear just a cold wind that seems to blow from one ear to the other, and then let them come.
And just
Is this a new suggestion?
yeah, just so I can clarify it out of character, that's a complete lie. Joseph is not going down there.
That it actually is, David. I just did the roll. Oh yeah. It now sounds like a good idea. All right, still don't tell them anything, but let them come down.
You should go ahead and do that, and see if you can find any trace of Vsevolod Cerveni.
These two
Oh,
guys.
And go tell Theo Bell about the results.
What are we going to do with these guys?
I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know what I mean, David really must not. Who knows what went on after the call after we hung up, because he seems like he's still pissed.
Yeah. Okay. So anything else we've got to handle?
Sorry, what?
He's basically just dismissing it. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll go ahead and do that. If the two of you want to go ahead and do that with me, whatever. But anything else we got to handle while we're on this call?
Well, first thing I want to ask, though, is if we are going to go down there, which I'm not sure is the best idea ever, but was anything else around there we need to be worried about? I mean, was it totally empty, everything destroyed, like the warlock said?
Will the suggestion keep me from mentioning Slacha excavators?
You can definitely talk about them.
Well, as it so happens, there were Slacha excavators trying to get into the basement of the building. They were digging it out.
That's odd. Did they give any
Yes,
indication
it's
why?
extremely odd, don't you think? I wonder what they were looking for. After all, shouldn't they have felt it when the blood bond shattered?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know what would happen to flesh-crafted ghouls after their sire dies. Do you? I don't know. Maybe they just like to dig?
It's also perfectly reasonable that if their master really did die, they might be looking to dig towards a source of vitae for them so that they too would not die.
Right, that's where Byron was kind of going with it, because he has no clue. Since he's apparently totally sold on the fact that Salad is dead.
I'm not saying he's sold on Byron. I'm just saying David's being a sarcastic asshole.
Well, we'll figure out what the fuck they were doing. They die, or you kill them, or they run away, or what?
Yes, they died when well, they fell off a ledge and crashed down into what may or may not have been a basement full of secrets.
Byron's just going to look at Marcus and just mouth, what
I'm
the
sure
fuck?
it's totally safe down there.
You know, I don't
All
think
of you should go.
I, for one, am never going back down there.
Well, this can all handle later. There's for that to happen, I would rather take some precautions, not go into the den of the devil by myself, and just walk in and do knows what.
Oh no, I'm sure it'll be totally safe. After all, Sevalod is totally dead.
Yeah, but he's got helpers that you saw what happened at Madison Square Gardens. What if there's something else like that you didn't see down there? Maybe you just got lucky.
Whatever the case may be, that's something that's got to be set up. Do we have anything else to discuss?
Only what Marcus and I were there to tell, and this actually pertains to Sevalod, strangely enough, perhaps, is that, yeah, indeed, it looks like Jermaine did ghoul the commissioner. So, yeah, and, you know, that I don't know where to go from here, because it looks like the Anarchs definitely have control of at least that commissioner.
Yeah, well, then there's really nothing we can do to break that bond, so...
Oh, we can break the bond.
If you're talking about killing Jermaine, one, I doubt that we can. Two, I wouldn't be willing to.
I wasn't talking about killing Jermaine. I was talking about killing the commissioner.
Or at least convincing him that perhaps he should, you know, do other things with his life.
You know, they're talking about murdering an innocent man, David.
Byron isn't. Byron is actually talking about dominating the fuck out of him and erasing, I don't know, a month of his life.
Listen, there has to be some way to resolve this situation without just killing him, right?
He's already a ghoul. You basically have to wait and for him to stop being a ghoul, kill the person who ghouled him, or I don't know.
Really, we just need him to stop being the commissioner. That does not necessarily mean death. We have, with the four of us, we have the ability to, I don't know, drive him insane, erase his memory, or just straight up convince him that perhaps he needs to not be here anymore.
Well, whatever we do, we should do it quickly.
I mean, couldn't we get some kind of story to our contact in the news media about how the police commissioner has been interacting with a mercenary in his downtime?
We could. I mean, Byron, you last talked to her, and you sort of put the influence of what police corruption in her head, or something like that, right?
So, I mean, who's to say that we couldn't, you know, have a corruption scandal?
Well, Byron will also recall that he then proceeded to smooth things over so that Bridget Starr would not follow along that very sweet and salacious police corruption angle, and leave Byron alone.
Right, and also
now we have to open back up that angle.
But there's also we can't just go to her and say, "Oh, by the way, the commissioner might be corrupt because, I don't know, no self-respecting journalist is going to just print that. So it just opens the door wide open for libel suits.
Right. Just because you've awed her, she'll be like, I still need something. Come on, man.
Exactly.
So we need to fabricate evidence or find evidence of him being with Jermaine Wallace,
Or at
unknown
least,
mercenary.
or at least in some way make her go find evidence herself. Just because she's not going to print something doesn't mean she won't pursue it.
That said, all of that would probably be airtight. It's doubtful we'll be able to find evidence of that. I mean, can go ahead and try, but I don't think a mortal's going to go ahead and find evidence that a ghoul's, especially someone as important as Commissioner, is corrupted. And if they have connections to Jermaine Wallace, he has connections to some unknown guy, what is that? That's not something that stopped him being Commissioner.
How is Dominate going to make him forget who he's bloodbound to?
You can make him forget like a month of his life that you won't even know that he even met Jermaine Wallace.
It doesn't even
But
matter.
as
It's still a
soon as he
mystical.
meets him again,
It's a
he'll
mystical
still
connection.
be fully bloodbound.
Yeah,
You can't break that with Dominate.
He'll basically think he's fallen in love at first sight then.
Right, but as long as, so what you're saying is that he'll still remember who Jermaine is and the name and contact number and all that stuff, even if he's
No, he won't remember that, but he'll still be bloodbound, and all Jermaine has to do is reintroduce himself.
Jermaine doesn't even have to reintroduce himself. He just has to be somewhere in the vicinity, and if he catches sight of him, he'll be instantly in love again.
Right, but that's not what I was saying at all, though. So we make him forget who it is, and then we tell him to not be there anymore. We convince him somehow to, we can give him nightmares. We can even give him a suggestion that he needs to be someplace else. It's a short-term solution. I just meant he would forget who he was bloodbound to, not the blood binding. Because after, I don't know what his willpower is, but after, or is it willpower? No, it's self-control.
It would be 12 minus willpower months before a blood bond to be reduced by 1 level.
Right, so assuming a 3rd level blood bond, it could be, years. But, so it's a short-term solution. No, I wasn't saying it was going to wipe that out. I was just saying it would make him forget the details. So at least you have a few hours where he was confused.
Yeah, the best case scenario you could do with Dominate is to dominate him into putting in his resignation. Anything else isn't going to work anything.
Yeah, that might be hard because it might be against his nature. And those roles, it gets into a gray area. You could try that. But, you could say, there's a really nice, who knows we can ask him what he likes. If he likes hiking or rock climbing, or he's a very fit guy, you can say, you really got to go to this place. And you send him out of town for a while. And
then dominate him. Then dominate him into a scandal. Have him go out in public in the news, showing off his body that he's incredibly proud of because he's healthy. Do something like that. Play to his nature and create a scandal.
Right. You could say something like, I think that girl over there, let's just hope he's heterosexual, that girl over there is really needs to see your pecs up close. And so he might peel back his shirt or something. But again, you'd have to have a number of successes for that, which Byron is good at, but who knows?
Well, we either need to try or we just roll up and die.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and try that, there's nothing I can do to stop you. That said, I'm not going to have any part of ruining a married man's life.
He's not married.
Oh, wait, no.
You've already ruined a married man's life.
A man's life.
Well, how would you deal with the situation then, Joseph?
At the very least, we're going to be ruining his career by ending it.
Prison time? You're talking about a major scandal. You're talking about public indecency, things like that. Considering who he is, he may not get prison time. That's true. He may not get anything more than a fine and no longer being on the force.
And a quiet early retirement.
That's all we want. We don't want him in power, though.
Now, here's an interesting thought. We can always blackmail him. And before you say we have nothing to blackmail him with, I can make him believe that he did something wrong.
And then he goes around and turns it back over to Germain, who then tells him to ignore it and just piss the anarchs off at us and gets us absolutely nowhere.
He's also the kind of cop that will, when he's threatened with blackmail, will just throw cops at us.
That is true as well. So that's just kind of making my point even more. So if we don't discredit him somehow and we don't kill him somehow, or we don't kill Germain somehow without anyone knowing about it and causing a big scuffle, how do we deal with this situation? Are you suggesting we ignore it, Joseph?
We could work out some kind of deal with the anarchs.
Deal with the anarchs. No offense to the anarchs, they're just one step above the Sabbat.
They may pretend to be independent, but they all play ball.
Well, I think we should possibly think on it for a little bit, unless anyone has something definite they want to do now. I think we've thrown around a lot of ideas, and
I think the longer wait to deal with this, the worse the situation's going to get.
Possibly, but I think acting too soon could be just as dangerous. From the impatient guy.
You're the guy with dominate. Can't do it without you. So if you want to if you want to wait, we can wait.
Well, I was just thinking that maybe something else would occur to someone because I mean, it just sounds like Joseph has very large reservations, and given the schism that's been formed or made itself more apparent today, I really don't want to alienate anyone in this group. I kind of want to reach a consensus on this if possible. So, I mean, I'll put it to Joseph. I mean, what would you have us do besides this? Because I'm leaning towards this because we have to keep our area safe. And it seems to, and we, Marcus and I tried to tell Theo Bell about it, and his words pretty much were, get out. So we got to deal with this ourselves.
I don't know how to deal with this. It's a problematic situation. It's the main problem lies in whatever I do is very easily countered.
But we have to do something.
Right. But we have to do something that they don't just immediately beat back and just make us look foolish for having tried. We have to do something that actually accomplishes something.
Another thing that we could do, and this sidesteps the entire issue of getting anyone involved, is that okay, this person is the will of the anarchs. He's going to be in charge of setting up Vargas's replacement. We can pick one because we have the files, and I fairly easily can suggest that he pick a certain person.
Who we ghoul in advance.
Exactly.
That would be good.
That
That's
would only...
brilliant.
Well, here's the problem.
That won't be a long-term solution, but it'll give us time.
That said, because of your and my disagreement over ghouling, I think Byron or Marcus, one of you should probably ghoul him.
Should probably give David back that thermos of blood then.
Yeah, it's here in Astoria State's fridge. Actually, no, it isn't, but it'd be cool if it were. I don't know where it is.
It's right here, and like half of it's gone.
I got hungry. Sorry.
Well, if it has to be one of them, I'd rather it be Marcus. No offense, Byron, but I trust him a bit more with security, as long as he feels like he can be reliable with it.
First mistake.
You have no
Trusting
security
Marcus.
experience or combat experience.
Byron, okay, Byron was going to let Marcus have it anyway. I mean, just because, but he's just, in the back of his head, he's like, you trust the drunken punk rocker more than I do with it.
No combat experience. Who killed Frosty the Snowman?
Who killed Dante Avant?
Who didn't flee from the tentacle rape monster the other
I'm
night?
not questioning your valor. I'm
Oh, I didn't say
questioning
that out
your
loud.
knowledge
No.
of tactics and police procedures, of security systems.
Oh, no, that's fine. Byron, that's in the back of his head. He didn't voice any of this. He just, it's like, all right, however you want to play it. Do you want to get over to Astoria Estates and we can pick the right person for the job?
Sure. And David's going to go bring his files over.
Guy, we might have a problem. Well, never mind. We're going to sidestep that problem. I was going to say the guy might pick a person who's not on our files.
We're going to tell him who to pick.
All right.
I mean, that's the whole point, is that I was going to use Dominate to mesmerize him and say, you think that so-and-so is the best choice for the job. Or you want to pick this person, not even the best choice. You want to pick this person in case the Anarchs try to convince him someone different or something.
Is Joseph going to come over?
I think that you guys can handle this. I've got shit to do.
Okay.
Yeah, and look, Joseph, really, if you've got any problem with what we have planned, I mean, do let us know. Don't keep it bottled up, please.
Yeah, as long as I'm aware of what you guys are doing. If I'm not saying it's a horrible idea, it's usually I think it's I just can't come up with a better one. Don't worry. If I think you're being stupid, I'll tell you I think you're being stupid.
Fair enough. And if I think you're being crazy, well,
Then you're
yes,
right.
that's a given.
Too late.
Okay. Well, I've got to go. Bye.
No, sounds good. Click. And then immediately Byron's going to turn to Marcus and say, is he the one telling us that we need to keep him informed about shit? Really?
Marcus is just going to shrug and be like, I don't know what the crazies think. I don't know what the uglies think. All I know is they hate each other.
Apparently. So...
So, what's Joseph going to do then? Joseph?
Disconnect.